Right, folks, how are we all? Back with another beers from the air raid shelter. Bren.
Yes.
Quite good, isn't it?
It is. Hey. It's very good, yes.
People are taking this on and enjoying it, apparently. They go and get themselves a few drinks and sit here watching us talk bollocks. Now, as you can see behind here, Bren has brought a, what is it, advertising?
Yeah.
Banner of some kind. We are not being sponsored by London Pride or any other kind of pride, rainbows or anything like that. Hey, Brad.
This is my favourite kind of pride.
Is it? So what it is, we're going to carry on doing the beers from the air raid shelter. I've had a couple of choices to do, and I think I said to you last week, what would you like to drink, didn't I?
Yes, you
and
did.
You said London Pride. So I've been and bought a couple of bottles. Let's we'll put up there as the thumbnail. I can't see that. It's like, I tell you what, it's like looking through frosty glass my eyes. There you go.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So shall we pop one and then we'll have a chat, mate?
Shall we?
Yeah. Do you want to go first? As your
Thank you very much, sir.
So it's, cheers, mate. It's Fuller's London Pride Outstanding Amber Ale. Now, amber ale's a funny drink to me.
You really?
Yeah, it's got to be right. I know that sounds stupid. Some are not. See, that looks a decent amber ale. That's nice and dark.
Yeah.
And some are like bright or light, isn't there? And I don't like the light ones.
I mean, I think Pedigree's classed as an amber ale. Yeah. You know, it's dark. It's.
Oh, that's what I say. And this looks like a proper bitter in a way. You know when we were doing the double diamond last week?
You know, with that fake double diamond.
Yeah. The Temu.
The Temu of double diamond.
And that just look crap, but this should, that's how double diamond should look in the mug, in the 1970s mug. Hey mate, let's go for it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers and all to everybody out there. Ooh, nice. It's full of flavour, isn't it?
That is bloody lovely.
Bloody lovely. Wonder who said that. Some fat bastard.
I mean, that is just, it's beautiful. That's how an ale, a bitter, whatever you want to call it, that's how it should taste.
That's how I remember mine. Going at, like I say, as a kid, sometimes my mum would buy me a drink, or I'd go to the working men's club or the Labour club or whatever it was in Colwell, and that's how bitter was. That's what. Yeah. If you could stereotype the 70s, it would be a working men's club drinking bitter out of one of them. Yeah,
definitely. With an overflowing ashtray.
Overflowing ashtray.
And fog that you couldn't see through the club because of all the fag smoke.
And kids running up and down and skidding on the knees on the dance floor, weren't it? And the mum's going, I've just bought you them with Green Shield stamps. Yeah. You little bastard, and a clip round the ear roll.
Them were the days.
Them were the days when you could beat your kids.
To within inches of the lives.
It takes skill, dedication, sounds like Roy Castle, and time to brew an ale this outstanding. It takes the same to play Premiership rugby. So this is what all this is about then, these things, they're all about Premiership rugby. But if London Pride would like to sponsor an episode of the Air Raid Shelter, beers from the Air Raid Shelter, I'd be very happy. Somebody says we've got to have pork scratchings.
They did.
So I bought some pork scratchings. Would you like one, Bren, or?
I might partake shortly.
In a couple, I'm going to have one, because I like pork scratching.
Oh, I do actually.
Yeah, what were you going to say then, mate?
Well, they must do this on a regular basis, because we've just taken these little things off the bottles, promoting the rugby. But this is about 4 years old.
Really?
I've had this tucked away in a cupboard for maybe 4 years, so
it's a nice bit of memorabilia.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years at least. Yeah, it's got to be 4 years, because my friend who gave it me must have been out the pub for 2 years. So yeah.
That's good. They normally sign a 5-year contract and stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
When they do stuff like this, so it's all good. But that's nice, though, isn't it?
That is an outstanding beer.
Would you class that with a pedigree or?
I think it's possibly a little bit sweeter, and I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
But colour-wise and such like, yeah.
I like it, must have it. I think the older you get, your taste buds change, don't they? And you start to accept
Yeah,
things.
definitely. With everything, with food, with drink.
Yeah. Just what food didn't you like as a kid that you eat now?
Liver.
Really?
I never liked liver. I used to like the liver gravy. That it was cooked in, but I never liked liver. And now I love it, but it's got to be lamb's liver. I think ox is too strong and pigs is too strong, but lamb's liver with bacon and onions.
Well, I suppose the lamb's liver hasn't really grown, has it?
No.
So
it's not got that bitterness. It's not been used so much.
I don't think I could ever eat liver. I've tried it down my granny's. In fact, both grandmas used to eat it.
Yeah.
And I've tried it, but it's too, like you say, bitter or dry.
Possibly a really good idea.
Hey, I'll have to put the French beers in and whack it up against the wall.
That's it.
Stay up. Just didn't realise they were still there. There we go. Oh yeah, the French have a use a lest. Yeah, I couldn't. Spitting on the table. I couldn't. I don't like the dryness of it.
I think it depends how it's cooked.
Yeah.
I do it. If you fry it, it's really dry.
Yeah.
But I tend to. I'll seal it in a pan. I'll fry some bacon first.
Yeah.
Fry some onions in that same juice. Then seal the liver in the pan. Then put it all into a casserole dish. Some water. A little bit of tomato puree. And it's lovely.
I know somebody else who likes it, but I can't remember who it were. Because nobody really likes liver, do they? I suppose it's awful.
I love it.
It's bloody awful.
But I don't like kidney. That's one of the foods I cannot eat.
No.
I couldn't
Never
eat straight
tried it.
kidney pie or anything.
Oh
like
no,
that.
I have tried kidney. Yeah, I have tried kidney. I didn't like that either.
No, I really don't like kidney. Even the smell of it when it's cooked. No.
It just sounds good, doesn't it? Steak and kidney pie. That sounds traditional.
It does.
Don't
Or
it?
steak and kidney pudding. Even
Kidney
more
pub.
traditional.
Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah.
But no, leave the kidney out. I'll just have a steak pudding. Thank you very much. A nice suet pastry.
I think mine is Brussels. I couldn't bear Brussels when I was a kid. I don't know whether it's because my grandma had overcooked them and boiled them too long and they were all just, and they stunk. But now we cook Brussels with, we boil them sometimes. Or we parboil them, freeze them and then cook them, and then sometimes we'll roll them around in a bit of butter.
Yeah.
That adds flavour, and then sometimes we'll put like little bits of bacon in.
Yeah. You ever try slicing them up?
Yeah,
and then doing it with
yeah.
bacon?
So it's like or then sometimes we'll chuck chestnuts in and oh, absolutely. But it is. You just I think kidney beans and all.
Oh, I love kidney beans.
Yeah,
I've
but
always loved kidney beans.
As a kid, I don't think I liked them for some reason. It was.
No, that was one of the few veg that my dad actually liked. My dad was a really, really funny eater, bless him.
Yeah.
But he loved kidney beans.
Yeah.
He'd eat kidney beans all the time. He loved them. That's runner beans, green beans. Yeah, runner beans for anybody who doesn't. I think kidney beans is a bit of a local thing to us.
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it?
It's runner beans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love them. I always used to grow them. My dad, it was one of the few veg that my dad had eat. So we always had to have kidney beans on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
The amount of times because they always used to come to me on Christmas Day. And the amount of times I've been running around on Christmas Eve because I forgot to get my dad's kidney beans, and it's the only veg you'd eat.
Yeah. It's funny how you, like you say, it's funny how you go through life, and then it's like there's something you didn't touch as a kid, then all of a sudden, it's like Ginge, fucking hated eggs. She absolutely hated eggs, fried eggs and stuff. Yeah. Now she'll have them.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Fucking weird kid though.
But
anyway.
your taste buds definitely do change as you get older.
Yeah, you do.
But I still like Brussels. Never liked them then, never like them now. I always put one on my plate on Christmas Day. I still do them. I always cook them for other people because I always cook the Christmas dinner. And I always put one on my plate. Yeah. And I still don't like them.
No.
My missus does the same. She puts one on a plate and tries it and still don't like them.
I quite like them. I think it's something that you do grow into. It's.
I think olives is one of the ones that I can't stand them.
No.
Yeah, a lot of people as they mature tend to. Your sister now loves olives.
Yeah.
And her son loves olives, but that she never used to like them. But now, I used to working out in Spain a lot, and we used to walk. At the end of the day, we'd walk down to the local taverna.
Yeah.
And they were all olive groves.
Yeah.
And the olives would be hanging up off the trees.
Yeah.
Onto the path as we walked down. And every night on the way to the taverna, I'd pick an olive and try it and say, God, bloody awful.
Yeah.
And throw it away.
Yeah.
And walking back from the taverna after a few beers, I'd pick another one and take a bite and say, they're still bloody awful.
Yeah.
And it just became a thing, and I used to do it every night.
Well, I've got a mate, I used to work with a lad called Adam Watford, and he couldn't eat mushrooms.
Oh, I love mushrooms.
No way. He would like, if we have a breakfast cob, he'd be saying, make sure there's no mushrooms. Don't like mushrooms. I can't eat mushrooms. And he'd like open his cob. He would have a foot-long baguette thing, and he'd open it. She's put fucking mushrooms in it again. It's like fucking amazing. But Ginge don't like mushrooms either, or prawns. She don't like prawns. But
I'm not keen on prawns.
yeah. Well, then one day she goes, "Oh, you've got to have I'll have a prawn if you have an olive." And I'll put this olive. I'll go,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't eat it.
No.
I don't know why, because it's the same texture as a mushroom and everything.
I love mushrooms.
Yeah,
Love mushrooms.
I do.
Love
I love mushrooms.
I'll put mushrooms in anything I'm cooking.
We have them on
Pie.
toast.
Oh, nice. What, with cream and a bit of garlic?
We have them with. Have you heard of the Pinch and On book? I tell you what, it's quite funny, really. It's healthy eating cooking.
Do I look like I would know that book?
No, well, June talks to Wanda, and they swap recipes and stuff. Anyway, it's Pinch and On, healthy eating, and like the pictures of the two birds who've done it. I think they're married, so Pride Month, happy days. But the two big fat fucking effers, and you think, how the fuck can you promote healthy eating when it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, do as I say, not as I do. Isn't
I
it,
don't
you know?
know. I just don't know. But there again, you see, it's that the problem is with these things. This Pinch and On's really, really good. The food tastes fucking brilliant. But the trouble is, you have twice as much.
Right.
Anyway, we do mushrooms on toast, and what it is it's supposed to be low-fat Philadelphia, bit of Marmite, dry fry the mushrooms, then and it's fucking lovely. Really, really nice. Yeah, bit of olive oil, and then Philadelphia cheese, bit of Marmite, mix it all up, and it's absolutely brilliant.
That does sound good. Yeah. Are you a Marmite person? Obviously, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could take it or leave it. It's not something I eat on a regular basis, but I can.
If you get a bit of butter and put a bit of Marmite in it, mix it all up, and then put that on your toast. Fucking bang it. Mix the butter in with the Marmite.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, really is good. But yeah, I like Marmite. I've always liked Marmite, even as a kid. Liked it.
I don't think I did. I don't seem to remember it being, I don't seem to remember it being in the house as a kid, to be honest, because I know my dad wouldn't have it, bless him, because he was such a funny eater, he really was. Now, my mum was more adventurous with the food, but no, I just don't ever remember it being in the house, ever, as a kid.
No,
I think the first time I probably tried it was around Karen's house. Yeah, it probably is, because I know her, Karen and Mum eat it, but...
I think my Granny Dora used to have it. Battery's going, so I'm going to swap the battery, and we're nearly at the 15-minute mark. But no, I think my Granny Dora used to have it because of Uncle Peter. I think he liked it. I can't remember what. But I do like Marmite. I do love it.
I like Bovril.
I like Bovril.
As a drink.
Yeah.
And I drink Oxos.
Yeah.
I've been told I'm a weirdo for that. I'll just put an Oxo cube in a mug and boiling water and drink that.
No weird about that.
Karen said you're drinking a cup of gravy. And?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I like it.
You get your bread at the end of the meal, don't you? And you mop it up.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not, Karen.
Too right. Yeah.
Waste not, want not. Yeah. Well, it ain't real gravy, is it, Oxo?
No. It's just like a beefy drink. It's like a Bovril.
Well, you're supposed to.
That was the slogan, beefy Bovril.
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah. But you're supposed to mix it in with the corn flour in your Oxo to create to thicken the gravy up.
Yeah, I use them. I put them in things like for making cottage pies or stews.
Yeah, that's it. Like
just as a bit of flavour.
Do you ever put a vegetable stock cube in the potatoes?
No, we mentioned I am going to try that because we skidded over this on the last video.
I'll tell you another one. You know when you're boiling potatoes to be mashed, and you fuck up, because you're doing something else, you're watching the telly, or whatever you're doing, so, and you think, oh fuck, it's mush, right? Drain it. You know the cheese granules to make a cheese sauce.
Yeah.
Chuck a couple of spoonfuls of that in, and mix it all up, and it saves the potatoes.
And makes it like cheesy mash.
It makes it like cheesy mash.
Now there's a good tip.
Yeah, brilliant stuff.
Yeah,
I was
that's a
going to
good
do a
tip.
video on it, but I can't be arsed. You know what I mean?
Well, no need now.
No, there's no need.
You good people out there know.
Yeah, yeah. Right, I'm going to swap the battery. I'll get you in a second. And we're back. We just had an interesting chat there, didn't we?
We did, but we're not suitable for on
Not
camera.
suitable for on air with you lot. It would have been. Been fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we on for the next pint, mate?
Well, yes. That just slips down so smoothly for me. It's honestly, anybody out there who's never tried London Pride, if you like bitter or ale, or
Yeah.
I would really recommend this. It is absolutely excellent. Yes, I think this is possibly one of them where 2 might not have been enough.
So you're a music man, then, ain't you, Bren?
Yes, I've always been into my music, whether it be playing it or listening to it. I love music.
So what's the best gig? Sorry, folks, I'll talk horse fashion. Best gig you've been to, or concert?
Oh, that's ridiculously hard for me. I've been very lucky, and I've been to, I'm going to say thousands, and it's probably true. I'm probably not exaggerating. I've probably been to thousands of gigs, because most of them didn't cost me any money.
Yeah.
Through contacts. Waggy asked me this about 4 days ago, and I couldn't come up with an answer.
What, the same question?
He did. He asked me what the best gig was I'd ever been to about 4 days ago when he was fitting the old kitchen.
Yeah.
I think the first time I saw The Who was something special.
Yeah. I can get
That was
on
really
it, yeah.
something special. In the end, I came up with a really weird one. A band called Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
You fat bastard! Yeah.
You know it.
I've seen them.
Well,
they were fucking
I
brilliant.
always loved Carter the Unstoppable
Yeah.
Sex Machine. Much
30-some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw them at. I've always loved them, but I never got to see them live.
Did you?
And then they well, I hadn't, and then they reformed, and they did a gig at the Beautiful Days Festival, which is run by the Levellers,
Right.
who are friends of mine. So
Yeah.
I don't work the Beautiful Days Festival, but they've always put me on the guest list.
Right.
I've only ever missed 2 since it
Yeah.
first started. So I go down there, and I'm normally down there for a week or so, and just hang around. The same guys that crew the Beautiful Days festivals are the guys that used to crew my stage at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
So it was just nice to have a catch up with them.
Catch up in the chat.
So yeah, but Carter were on this one year, and I'm very lucky. I get access all area passes.
Yeah.
So I was in the pit.
Can I just say, this ain't bullshit. This is true. This is, you know.
Yeah, it's not big and it's not clever, but it is
Yeah.
true.
I have asked you a question.
But yeah, I was in the pit, and I was just going mad, just dancing. And
Yeah.
I don't dance. I'm not a dancer.
Yeah.
But I was just in the moment, in the pit,
Yeah.
on my own, and it was just one of them. And my missus had just stood there shaking her head as if to say,
It hurts in that
twat.
pit though, doesn't it?
Oh no, not the mosh pit.
Oh right.
The pit between the stage and the crowd.
Oh right.
So I'm in there on my own.
Yeah.
All the people are on the barrier at the front going mad, but
Right.
I'm on the other side of the barrier. I'm between the stage and the barrier, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
I've got a beer in my hand.
You're happy.
Yeah, and I'm just going mad.
Yeah.
And then luckily I got to meet him afterwards.
Yeah.
So I got my photo took and I got my autograph.
Yeah.
And
Sheriff Fat Man.
And the guy who'd actually booked him, a guy called John Bowness, who's one of the big bookers for Beautiful Days, and he runs one of the stages there. He said, "You really like these, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And a couple of days before, I'd actually read some poetry on John's stage.
Yeah.
He wanted poets, so he asked me if I'd do some of my poetry. So I did. And apparently they'd heard it.
Really?
The 2 guys from Carter, Jim Bob and Fruit Bat
Yeah.
had heard my poetry.
You know, Jim Bob and Fruit Bat.
So they tried to book me to do their after-show party at London for their farewell gig.
Fucking hell.
Unfortunately, I had a gig with my band that night at some poxy little pub somewhere, and I wouldn't let the boys down, so I never got to recite my poetry at there.
I seen Carter. I think it was Leicester. Were it Polly? Leicester Polly. I can't fucking remember. And that's years back.
Leicester Polly used to be a good venue before it was Leicester Montfort University.
Yeah.
I saw Ozzy there. I met Ozzy.
Oh yeah.
I spent about 3 hours backstage with Ozzy then. When he was, it was his comeback tour. I think it was the first tour he did with Zach Wilde. I think because Zach was there. I got a plectrum off Zach. I got Ozzy's Idiot sheet signed. It's still hanging on my bedroom wall now with a staff pass which I bought off a roadie for about 70p.
Yeah.
Because I said that's the only change I'd got left in my pocket, and he wanted a fiver. But that was a really good venue.
Yeah, it was. We went with Ian Hunter, Neil Hunter, Gav Noon, seeing Carter the Unstoppable set. Bales. Bales got this thing where when you're not looking, he'd come up and bite your arse, and he didn't just bite your arse, he'd fucking bite it. Because we went to the Commitments one night as well, and see the Commitments, and we're absolutely fucking hammered on Dry Blackthorn, and he came up behind me and he just bit me on the arse. Fucking hell, Bales, just fucking pack it in.
Kind of mate you don't need, but you look.
Oh yeah, it is, yeah. But I think I had a In Excess. Radio 1 did a competition once, and it was for 200 people to go and see NXS at a secret location in London, and I fucking won 2 tickets. And me and my mate, the late great Rob Burton, we went down in his car and went to see them, and we were 3 from the front. And anyway, it's like we're waiting, and I was like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? Says, let's wait and see if we can fucking meet them afterwards. And anyway, this was the morning when he'd done the big breakfast with Paulie Yates. So anyway, we stood outside and we were waiting, and they fucking come out, and they were all off the fucking heads.
I can believe
they were all off their heads.
I think Hutchins probably.
He was the only one. He was the only one who weren't.
Really?
Yeah, he was the only sensible one out.
Surprises me.
Gary Beers, he was fucking well gone. I don't know what were holding him up. And they must have had him on the strings at the top to make him walk like this, because it was fucking unreal. But Hutchins was the only one who was actually. And it like brilliant.
You don't want him on a string.
No, you're not now. You don't, do you? Fucking knocking one out. That's what the London Pride deal, isn't it? Yeah. So, who's the most famous you've met then? I'll tell you mine. Mine's Jamie Vardy.
Legend. Yeah. Absolute legend. And I'll drink to Jamie Vardy all day. Absolute legend. No. Absolute legend.
So that's mine gone. Well, no, Michael Hutchins as well.
The worst famous person I've ever met, and I wish I'd never met him because it really put me off, and I grew up loving his music, with Bob Dylan.
Really?
Yeah, and I grew up, even as a little kid, I think I found my dad's Bob Dylan Greatest Hits first copy when I was about 7 years old. Yeah. Which is not really the age you get into Bob Dylan. No. And for some, I've always listened to lyrics. I don't really listen to music. I love lyrics. Yeah. And I fell in love with Bob Dylan as a kid, and I made it my mission to try and buy every album, everything he'd ever released. And I've got a massive Bob Dylan collection. Yeah. And then I met him, and he just turned out, whether he was having a bad day, I don't know. Yeah, you don't know, do you? Because he turned out to be an arse. Yeah. It was at the Fleur Festival in Finsbury Park. I was there with Billy Bragg, and I've been sitting on the stage, just watching all the rest of the bands. Me and my mate, Dave, his name we were just sitting on the side of the stage, watching all the other bands, and it was free bar backstage. So like every 10 minutes I'd get up, never spoke, I'd get up, go and fetch 2 beers, come back down, give Dave one. Yeah. Then 10 minutes later, Dave would do the same, and we were doing it all day. And then when Bob Dylan come on, they cleared the stage. It's a, no access stage. So we've all gone and stood in the pit. And this guy stood next to me, and he's like, "Can't believe they threw you off the stage. We've been watching you. You've been there all day." Yeah. And I'm like, I looked at him and I thought, kind of recognise you. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "We've been watching you guys all day. We think it's amazing. You never speak to each other, but you've been sat there next to each other, just fetching each other beers all day." I said, "Yeah, it's what we do." Yeah. And it turned out he was the drummer out of Counting Crows. Oh right. Who I really liked at the time. And I said, like, I'm a nobody, and they threw me off the stage. I said, but they threw you off the stage. You know, you're a somebody. You've actually played on the stage today. But it was a bit of a funny one.
Yeah, I think sometimes though they get too big for the fucking boots, don't they? They forget
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's not actually the artist; it's the management.
Yeah, probably could be. Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like, I mean, that was a double-edged sword that day, because I ended up partying with Ronnie Wood.
Yeah.
At the Stones, because I used to be really good friends with Ian McLagan, who was the keyboard player in the Small Faces.
Yeah.
So obviously Ronnie played with Ian in the Small Faces before he went to the Stones.
Yeah.
I was there with Braggy, and it turned out that we were in the next dressing room. They were like porta cabins.
Yeah.
And Ronnie Wood was next to us, so I was talking to Ronnie. I think he came on and played with somebody like the Charlatans and just did a one-off song. So I had a quick word with him backstage, and he said, "Oh, I noticed you with Billy, or you're next door to us. Are you coming back to ours for one?" So I ended up with Ronnie Wood for about the next hour and a half, and it got messy. But fun.
So really, then you can't really say who the most famous is you've met, because you've just like reeled a few names off there, ain't you?
I mean, what do you call fame?
I'll tell you what. I suppose in one way you could actually include me.
Oh, of course I could. The amount of times I've been with you recently, since I've been working, and the amount of people that stop on the road and say, "What are you doing here?" Or "You're Blue Van Man," or seriously.
So I suppose in one way it's not. I feel honoured.
I feel honoured. Thank you, Dave.
I don't consider myself famous. All right, folks. I'm just a normal bloke who just happens to drive a van who got lucky at one point, thanks to Brian, True Jordan.
But it works.
Yeah, it does work, doesn't it?
And people obviously like it, because you've got a lot of followers.
Yeah. Well, you've seem to have followers at the moment, because people keep leaving you comments on my channel.
Honestly, I would like to thank you all for that, for making me feel so welcome and welcoming into the fold. It's been really, really nice, and I'm quite surprised. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's good though, isn't it?
It is. Like, anybody who has commented, thank you very much.
Yeah, because Bren, you said this the other day, didn't you? About he says, because you've actually opened up your account again, ain't you?
I have, yeah.
You've got back onto your account so you can thank people. But what I was saying is that there's a lot of people out there, and YouTube is their only way of. It's their life. Some people are very shy. People have got problems, or people in America like to watch this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you leaving a thank you or a hello means so much to people. It's quite untrue and unreal, isn't it?
Well, I think if somebody's took the time to put a comment about me, or about the video that we've made together, I think it's only right that I should reply to it.
Yeah.
I just think that they've took the time out of their life to say, "Oh, I enjoyed that."
Yeah.
And I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
If we can make one person smile.
Yeah, we do. It seems that we're making quite a few smile on this. I mean, I think we're hitting around 3,000 an episode, which is. I was expecting to hit about 1,800, so we've doubled that in theory of what.
That's good.
Which is
so
good.
Thank you all out there, and if you have got a drink, cheers.
Well, hopefully we'll do a few more of these. I mean, you're here next week, ain't you, doing the windows, so we can do another one next week.
I'll come next week.
Yeah, if we record them on a Tuesday and I'll put them out on a Thursday or a Friday, it's makes people's week. Well, it don't make the week. No. It gives them something to do, doesn't it? So.
That's if the people want me to.
Yeah, I would hazard a guess they probably will. So what you got for dinner tonight, Bren?
Oh. It might be roast beef.
Oh.
But it's bought ready cooked.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's quite nice. But it's bought ready cooked. A couple of frozen roast potatoes in the air. It might be a lazy one tonight. A couple of frozen roast potatoes in the air fryer.
There's no wrong with lazy, is there?
I shall make my own Yorkshire puddings. But yeah, probably that and a bit of frozen. I've got some frozen, funny enough, kidney beans. I've got some frozen kidney beans still in the fridge from last year.
Who's that?
So yeah, might be a bit of veg and a bit of roast beef. I quite fancy it like a gravy dinner.
No, that sounds good. I like a gravy dinner. We've got Indian tonight.
Well, I had Indian last night. I went out for an Indian on Sunday night, and with the time I'd done the poppadoms and pickles, my shami kebab starter.
Yeah.
Then we have a curry each, one rice between us,
Yeah.
one naan between us, and we still couldn't eat it all.
No.
So I know the owner, really, really good Indian restaurant. I love it down there. And he
Well,
always
promote
looks
it if you want to. Right?
Bombay Bistro on the High Street in Ibstock. It's absolutely amazing. The staff are great, service is great, the food's amazing.
Yeah.
They do it on a Sunday and a Wednesday now. I think they've started doing like a special. I think it's 4 courses for about 18 quid.
Well, that ain't bad, is it?
So, yeah, but the food is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
Bombay Bistro.
Bombay Bistro in Ibstock, yeah.
Yeah.
Bo,
So
the
if-
owner.
so if
is
you're in
really,
the,
really nice.
Ibstock, Colville, Loughborough area and you fancy an Indian, go to the Bombay. Have you ever had Bombay duck?
No.
Oh. You can't get it anymore, can you?
No.
They've stopped it. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not really duck, is
no,
it? It's
Bombay
fish.
duck is not duck, it's fish.
Yeah. So I don't
yeah.
know why they call it. But I used to work for a soundproofing company called PP Gorn. And we used to work all over the country. And we were at Lytham St Anne's. We were
My
there.
ex-brother-in-law used to live there.
All right.
My sister's
Does he know the
ex-husband-
Belash?
Don't know. My sister's ex-husband used to live there.
All right. Well, anyway, there's a restaurant up there called the Belash.
Right.
And my job, because I was like the newest lad to join the gang, my job was to find the digs and find the places to eat and do all that. Asking me to eat, ridiculous. So anyway, I found this Indian restaurant called the Belash, and me and Lee Brown, Krabby's died, he were a fucking idiot, but you love Krabby. Who else was it? Pablo. And anyway, we all went. I found this Belash restaurant, and I had Bombay duck, and it was fucking amazing. It was one of the best things I've ever tasted in my life.
Why was it banned? Do you know?
Because apparently how they cook it in India, they smoke it. Or sorry, folks, I didn't realise we were gone past the 15-minute mark. They smoke it or something, and apparently it can get flies land on it,
Right.
and it's not very hygienic.
Right, yeah.
So something like that. But Bombay duck is one of the best things I've ever tasted.
Wow.
And I'm still here to tell the tale.
Yeah,
So it couldn't have been
yeah,
that bad.
yeah.
But yeah, there was a restaurant in Lytham St Anne's called the Belash. And fucking hell, that were nice. That were really, really top-notch food. So
what you got for tea tonight, Dave?
June is cooking us a Indian, funny enough. Where she works, she's gone back work for part-timing because she wants something to do. The place there, they do chicken, so she's got some chicken breasts, and she's doing as a I can't remember what it is. I bet it's not going to be very hot.
It's going to be a korma, isn't it?
I don't know. It's
It's
probably
going to be a
corn.
pretend curry. It's going to be korma, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, it's all good. I might pop to the shop and get a couple of samosas.
Oh, they're very nice from down there.
Yeah, they are, aren't
Yeah,
they?
from that shop down
Yeah.
there, they're very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had them before.
I like these little packet, not little packet ones, but the ones you can buy in the shops.
Because these almost kind of look, I don't know what company it is,
Authentic.
but they look homemade.
They
Yeah,
do.
They do.
They do look authentic. In fact, the bloke who owns the shop, he I walked in the other day, and his wife says, she's Indian. She goes, "You like curry?" And I went, "Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact." She goes, "Do you want this one?"
Well, yeah, they gave you a curry, didn't they? Yeah, bless
I tell you what,
bless them.
it was fucking fabulous.
Yeah, bless
it
'em.
was really, really nice. Chicken curry. I don't know what kind of curry it was or supposed to be, but it was full of flavour. And normally, I don't like the chicken on the bone in that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So I like
yeah.
to just
Yeah,
eat
yeah,
it.
I can be a bit funny with that.
But this was on the bone, and it was fucking brilliant. In fact, he's wasted running the shop.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of work for an Indian couple not too far from here, just outside of Loughborough.
Yeah.
Navin and Pat, and Pat cooks amazing.
Yeah.
They're not Sikh, they're Hindus,
All right.
so they're vegetarian,
Oh, okay.
and I'm a big meat
Yeah.
eater. But it's the food is so flavourful.
Yeah.
She makes her own chapatis, and
Yeah.
whenever I'm working around there, Bren, you have some breakfast with us. No,
Yeah.
no, Pat,
Yeah.
I'm all right. You know.
Yeah.
And she's like just always cooking and always trying to feed me.
Yeah.
Bren, you have some dinner with us?
Yeah.
No, I'm all right, Pat. Well, I'll pack you some up and you take some home. And
Yeah,
she's
well, I'll
lovely.
say that about them. It's like me and my dad, we used to fit double glazing for sign windows in Leicester. And obviously Leicester's a big Asian community population there. And sometimes you end up fitting double glazing in an Indian or a Pakistani's house. And they were always the ones who were trying to feed you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, they're massive feeders.
Fuck me! I tell you what, you could work in an English person's house and they wouldn't even offer you a cup of tea.
Yeah.
You work in an Indian person's house and they're trying to shove fucking curry and them cakes.
Oh,
and
yeah, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
Jesus Christ! You going, you fuck off and leave me alone. I'm fucking winded.
Indians and Pakistanis are massive feeders.
Yeah.
For other people.
Yeah.
They're really, really genuine people. You know, to try.
Yeah, they are. And
Whatever they've got, they will give you when it comes to food.
I can remember once we worked up. It was off Melton Road. What's the big fucking Golden Mile in Leicester?
Oh yeah.
Belgrave.
Belgrave.
Yeah. And we were working off one of them streets, and like we're trying to get this fucking job done, me and my dad. And this old woman, she couldn't speak a word of the kings or the queens, and she made us sit down and eat this fucking meal. And you're thinking, I can't really say no, can you? Because you don't want to offend.
It would offend them.
Yeah,
It would
and
offend
we
them.
sat down, and it was absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And anyway, I mean, I got a belly. I did back in the day, and they're like, fucking hell, I've got to get up, and it's like, you got to loosen your belt, and you got to go up a ladder.
Yeah, and
Well,
they're like banquets.
amazing.
They don't just have a dinner, they're like banquets.
Yeah, and it's like she were bringing us this food out, and
Pakoras and
that's it.
pakoras and
you
barges and homemade chapatis.
Yeah, I mean, I said she couldn't speak a word of the kings, but then she's a bit of a lie. But she would go, you eat, and you think, fucking hell, yeah, fucking brilliant it were.
Yeah.
But you go in some English people's house and they're like, they don't even offer you a fucking cup of tea and a digestive.
No, they don't.
Yeah, you go into an Indian.
Funny enough, no, they don't.
No, fuck off. I did you a wrap.
No, they don't. Yeah, you did. You did me a lovely ham and cheese wrap with salad in it.
Yeah.
And I don't really like wraps, but I said to Karen that night.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
You don't eat wraps. I said no, but because it got the salad and that in it.
Yeah.
To me, a wrap just tastes like soggy cardboard.
Yeah, it does.
But really nice.
When we had COVID back in 2020, I lost all my taste. I couldn't. And what happened were, June went to Cost Cutters in Sauber, and she got some cobs. You know, the crusty cobs.
Yeah.
And anyway, just loaded it up with vegetables, salad, and ham, and I could, for the first time in about 6 weeks, I could actually taste something. So anyway, then the following day, I got the strength up to do us some wraps. So that's why I do wraps, because and it's not just like ham, tomato, lettuce and cucumber. I put onion, I put radish.
Radish was the thing. Now, I love radish.
Yeah.
I love radish. And I would never think to put radish in like a salad cob or a salad sandwich.
It's red and
I
white.
love radish.
It's red and white, so it gives an eye. The eye looks at it, doesn't it? And you think, oh.
Well, you eat with your eye before your mouth.
Exactly.
We were taught that in college. I went to catering college. We were taught that you eat with your eye before your mouth. And that's what we were always taught.
Exactly, mate.
But yeah, when I saw that wrap, and I thought, wow, this has got radish in it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You only need a few.
Yeah, the lovely peppery taste.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then you just like sprinkle whatever on it, and it's there. But no, I do love a wrap.
Yeah, I must say, Dave makes a mean wrap.
Yeah.
He does make a mean wrap.
June says I'm always good. I can do good sandwiches, cobs, and wraps, and you know, it's like. It's even silly things.
Do you cook, Dave?
I do cook. Yeah, I love cooking. I really do. I do a chicken hot pot, and with the leeks and onions and the bacon bits, because if you don't put bacon in, you don't get so much flavour. I don't think.
Well, bacon should be in everything.
Yeah,
it should be law that bacon is in everything.
Even your cornflakes.
Yeah, bacon. Yeah, bacon cornflakes.
Yeah.
In fact, just forget the cornflakes and just have bacon.
Just eat the bacon.
Yeah.
There you go. Shall we have one of these?
I'm going to have something, mate, because this is such a beautiful beer. Unfortunately, I've drank it too quick.
Yeah, we'll have one of these. And then we'll wrap up. Which one are you going for?
Can you remember which you liked the best?
I think it might have been this one.
Brasserie. It is so easy to say, brasserie.
Yeah, it is. Somebody left that comment.
Yes, and that's why I've said it.
You go first, dude.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, somebody left the comment. You can't. How hard is it to say?
How hard is it to say brasserie?
How easy is it to write it down?
And luckily, they actually put it phonetically as well. So
yeah, phonics. Fucking phonics.
Well, there's a glass of foam.
Foff. How many people are saying now? I'll put a flake in it.
Well, I was just thinking it might knock some of the gas out of it.
Yeah.
Because after I've drank London Pride, that is just going to be far too gassy for me. So I thought that would knock some of the gas out.
Yeah, that's a good idea, really.
But yes, we've done 3 of these now, and this, by far, is my favourite.
Wouldn't it be good? I tell you what, if anybody does actually watch this, which I'm sure you will. In fact, we're not really reviewing the beer, are we? We're just sitting here chatting.
That, to me, is the finest ale that you can drink.
So,
but personally,
if anybody knows,
a review.
If anybody knows London Pride, and they want to send us a couple of thingies, and we can like do a little promo on it, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would. Well, we could do that one that somebody said, like, I'd like to just see you lot get drunk for 3 hours or something.
Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think your sister commented it takes an awful lot of beer to get Brendan drunk.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it takes me a few. I mean, I think I told the story last week when. Have I told the story on air, or did I just tell it to you? Scott from Scott Reviews Things. He came up here one weekend, and I think he just stopped the night. He stopped the night in a hotel in Loughborough that had actually been on Channel 4. And it turned out to be a bit dodgy.
Oh,
but anyway, he come up here, and we started drinking, and we just drank and drank. And June took us back to Loughborough so he could stop in the hotel with Wanda. And anyway, we came back and like we were drunk. He were hanging out his arse, and I was like pretty merry. So anyway, he sends me a text in the morning. He says, "Oh, we're in Spoons. We're just having a coffee before we drive back." So I says to Jen, I says, "Right, I'm just going to go and see Scott and Wanda." I says, she would, I don't know what she would do. She was walking the dogs or something. She was doing something. And she went, yeah, okay, yeah, and go and see him, say bye. So I went to Spoons in Loughborough, the one that shut down the Moon and Bell.
The Moon and Bell, yeah.
So I walk in and he's like, oh, like this. And I walk in as normal, and he's going, he looks at me and he goes, what the fuck are you doing? I went, well, what's up? He goes, you're all right. And I went, yeah, I know. What's up with you?
Yeah.
You look fucking awful. And he's like, oh, doing his best Jimmy Savile. Oh.
That'll probably get you a tick.
No, they don't. Jimmy Savile, do you want another one?
I'm going to, yeah.
Too busy talking here.
I poured it right. It does knock the gas out of it, so you can.
Does it? Yeah, it is
I'm going to try one of these. These were the weak ones, weren't they?
Yeah, the 2% ones.
Yeah. I feel guilty now that I've not had the port scratchings after we had that comment that we need a selection of port scratchings.
That's all right, mate. You do what you do, don't you?
Oh, that is proper gassy.
That is, isn't it? That really does need a fucking... Hold that up to the camera.
Yeah, that needs a flake.
A fucking bubble bath.
But I mean, when you look, there's only a swallow in that, isn't there?
There ain't a lot, is there?
No. And that's what we said before. I mean, we're used to a pint in England, or the UK, where we're used to a pint.
What do they drink in Australia? Is it a schooner in it?
I think it is, yeah.
Which is a third. Is it 2/3? Any Aussies out there? Can you put your boomerangs down and stop shagging your kangaroo? How many pints?
I'm glad you said boomerang and not didgeridoo.
Didgeridoo, don't mention it. We don't want to eat that. We've had Savile now. We've got Rolf on.
We've got Rolf.
We've got Rolf. Can you tell what it is yet? Yeah, it's an erection, Rolf. Put it away. I'm only 12.
There's 2 old boys instead of 2 little boys. How's that?
Yeah, we don't want to see it, Rolf.
I used to love that song. And it's just
Two
lost
little
its
boys.
magic now.
Yeah.
It's just lost its magic now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a great story song.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
songs that tell a story.
Yeah.
That's why I love country music.
You know what? You know when you were on about lyrics then? You were on about lyrics earlier on. And it's like... Lyrics.
That is shite. That really is shite.
I know it is.
Why did I go for that one?
I don't know why I've left them here, to be fair.
Because what's the point? You're hoping somebody will nick them.
Yeah. But lyrics... I mean, right, how can I say it? Back in the... If you listen to the lyrics of... right, here we go. I had this on in the... I had to go and pick Ginger up from work yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we had on Robbie Williams. What do we have on? And anyway, the words don't mean anything. It's all just...
What, his new song?
No, it was an old one.
He's got a new single out. Now, with Robbie Williams... Guy Chambers wrote all his songs for
Yeah, he did.
Well, co-wrote the songs in the early days.
Yeah.
Stuff like Angels.
Yeah. Or some bloke in a fucking bedroom in Ireland wrote Angels.
Yeah. I was sat in the Delisle Arms at Shepshed, which is long gone, with a mate of mine once, many years ago, and I just happened to say, some Robbie Williams song come on, can't remember what it was, and I said, you know what? Brilliant lyrics. Absolutely brilliant lyrics to his songs. Really good lyrics.
Yeah.
And then about 4 weeks later, I'm working where I used to work at the truck stop.
Yeah.
My mate's come in, Saturday dinner. He said, finish at 12, don't you? I said, yeah. He says, pick you up about 1:30 then, from home. I'm like, why? Where are we going? Well, we're going to see Robbie Williams. So what do you mean? He said, well, you said you like Robbie Williams. We're going to see Robbie Williams at Milton Keynes Bowl. I've got his ticket.
Fucking hell.
And I'm like, are you serious? I said, I'm not really that into him. I just liked his songs. He said, oh, well, I've got tickets now. I may as well come. I said, well, who's going?
So you got to see him at Milton Keynes?
Yeah, I went to Milton Keynes Bowl. So he said,
don't tell me you met the cunt. Oh,
no, I didn't actually. No,
Sorry,
no.
YouTube.
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I said, who's going? He said, me, you, and my missus. And I'm like, great. I said, I don't suppose you've got a spare ticket, have you? He said, no, why? My missus at the time, well, the girl I lived with at the time, was a massive Robbie Williams fan. Now, me and her had arranged to go out for a meal that night.
Ooh, fuck.
I had to go home from work and say, can't go out for a meal tonight because I'm going to see Robbie Williams. And you're not, basically.
So when you say your ex...
Well, yeah. No, that was X was a long time after that.
Yeah.
I left her because
I
found somebody I wanted to be with more, and I'm still with that person. So
fair play.
Yeah, I wanted to be with this person more, and I'm still with her.
Yeah, does she like Robbie Williams?
Not really, not that much. I've actually got a signed. I've got a big print about that big of a picture of Robbie Williams with no top on. And it's autographed, and I think there's a disc in it as well. And it came from a job I was doing. I was painting this woman's house, and her ex-husband used to own basically an autograph company.
Oh, right.
And it was, I went to get some paint out of the garage, and this was just propped up in the garage.
Oh.
And
authenticity.
You know, it's got the certificate on the back and everything. And I'm thinking that's going to be worth a few quid.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a rare photo, like topless and that.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I've got to ask, where did that come from? Now, I did know that Peter, her ex-husband, used to sell autographs because he told me. Because he gave me a really nice signed Oasis picture with a disc in it. Which is worth a few quid now. And said, oh yeah, you collect autographs, but if it's any good to you, take it.
Fucking hell.
And I said, well, how much do you want for it? She said, nothing. She says, oh, and hold on a minute. She says, I've got something in the wardrobe you might want. And she came back down with a big picture like that. And it's somebody else I'm not interested in at all, but the Scissor Sisters.
All right, yeah, they were good.
There's about 6 different stage photos that were took from the side of the stage of them.
Yeah.
But then the scratch plate of a guitar, the actual plastic scratch plate you'd have on a guitar, signed by the whole of the Scissor Sisters on this scratch plate.
Yeah, but they were good Scissor Sisters at the time. They were fucking brilliant. I loved them.
Not really my sort of music.
No, I can see that, but. Ginge fucking loved the Scissor Sisters. Then I realised the Scissor Sisters was a bit of a...
It took me ages to figure out what the name name meant. Yeah. animatronic.
Yeah.
I believe was the female.
Yeah.
Was animatronic.
Yeah. Hey, talking about Pride Month again, ain't we?
Yeah.
Dave,
Yeah,
you want a scissor go for it?
So if anybody wants to put me an offering for this really nice framed,
Scissor
Sisters scratch plate off a guitar signed by the whole of the Scissor
I've
Sisters.
got a Three Lions compact disc. Nick Ainsley gave me. Ainsley's Records in Leicester. I know him.
I used to go in Ainsley's a lot.
He's fucking laugh, Nick is. He's fucking brilliant. Me and Nick, when Leicester played at Hillsborough, when we won the League Cup, me and him were in the stand and he fucking grabbed hold of me and we about rolled down the fucking main stand. Brilliant, love Nick. And anyway, I caught up with him a while back and he says, "Do you want some memorabilia?" I said, "Go on then, Nick, I'll have a bit of memorabilia off you." He says, "All right." He says, "When are you in?" I says, told him the day I was in. He says, "Oh, I'll be round in a bit then. I'll be round that day then." And then he turns up and he's got this... in fact, when you watch me do a video from me Manor Studios... you see it there with me, next to me Clarkson signed photo. And it's Three Lions. It's the original when they did it in
the first time round, yeah.
So it means more, don't it? It's not,
definitely, definitely.
So, yeah.
I've always collected music memorabilia, and I've always collected autographs. It's like it's when we were touring, I've got this autograph books about that thick. Well, it's just a book that my sister bought me many years ago, just a blank book about that thick, about that big. So it just fit in the inside pocket of my cut-off.
Yeah.
And I carried it everywhere. Because, it's weird. When I was touring with Braggy, he's like a musician's musician.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of famous people used to come to see him.
Right.
So obviously we'd give them guest passes. And they'd come backstage afterwards for a chat and a beer or whatever. So, they'd be coming back to see Braggy, and I'm scooting around all them saying, "Yeah, mate, can you just sign this for me?" Paul Weller, whatever. Yeah, Paul, just sign this for me, mate.
I could imagine Braggy, right. Oh, that's somebody sending me about a cooker. I can imagine he's more interesting than his music.
He's a very, very knowledgeable, clever, interesting man.
He's a lefty, isn't he? But I would
he's
say...
an extreme lefty, and I toured with him for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We were very, very good friends. Well, I say are very, very good friends. I don't tour with him anymore. I've retired.
Yeah.
But I never agreed with a lot of his politics.
Yeah.
But I've always loved his music. And
Yeah.
for me, he is possibly the best lyricist of my generation.
Yeah.
I would say him and Paul Heaton are probably the two best Paul Heaton, Billy Bragg, and possibly Badly Drawn Boy, Damon Gough are probably my three favourite lyricists of my generation.
Well, Bragg's more of a poet, isn't he?
It's basically poetry put to music.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would
50% love songs, 50% political songs.
Yeah.
If you don't like the politics, ignore them and listen to the love songs.
Yeah, that's
he's an amazing lyricist. He really is a storyteller.
This is the trouble with people. I've got a mate, Pedro, right? Typical fucking lefty fucking wanker.
Yeah.
Right, Pedro. And there were times when me and Pedro used to go out together and we get absolutely wankered. He's a Derby fan and I'm a Leicester fan.
Oh dear.
And he's a Labourite and I was a Tory back in the day. And we'd sit there and we'd go out and we'd talk politics and all that. And I can remember one day, he went, we were fucking pissed. We were fucking having. He goes, "Dave, you wouldn't like to see anybody sitting in this pub without a pint." And I went, "Why wouldn't I?" And he went, "If somebody was broke, you would buy them a pint." And I went, "No, I fucking wouldn't." I says, "Just because they can't afford a pint, don't mean I have to buy them one." Where you got that from? "Oh, Dave, you're an idiot." And slumped off in the corner.
Now, I've often said the same thing, because my political views have have changed dramatically over the years
Yeah.
and flitted from left to right massively.
Well, that's why I say I'm centrist.
Yeah, well, I was extreme on one side, extreme on the other side, and I try and be centrist
Yeah.
now. But over the years, I mean, when you're a kid, you have the stupid ideals and and things like that. You don't really.
I've always been
understand.
right.
But you're always right.
I've always been on the
You
right.
pay my wages. You've always been right. Well, while I'm doing this job, after that, you whatever, But,
Yeah.
While I'm working for you, yeah, you're always right, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
I'll just pull my forelock a little bit, sir.
Lord.
Yeah, Lord of the Manor.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, my views have changed massively over the years and flitted from one side to the other. I don't know why, but yeah, I've kind of settled down in my views now. And
Well, I think it's what it is. You grow up, and I think until you've actually lived a life or lived a certain amount
Yes,
of life,
yes.
you can't. All these silly fuckers now who are protesting and going on about, stop oil and do this and do that. You've not lived.
that was my problem as a kid. I lived with my mum and dad up until I was, I think I can't remember, I was either 21 or 22 when I bought my first house. But I lived with my dad. My dad was a miner. He worked at Ellisdown Pit. He was a compound foreman at Ellisdown Pit. Now, during the miners' strike, my dad didn't strike. He was what was called one of the dirty dozen.
Scab.
Yeah. There were 12 pits that didn't.
I'll be
strike.
honest with you, my granddad once striked either.
Well,
Granddad said he once
my
fucking
dad
done
didn't.
it.
And obviously, Billy Bragg came to the fore in 1983 with things like these, the first EP.
Yeah.
With Between the Wars, the first EP.
Yeah.
And he was doing a lot of miners' benefits and stuff like that. And I just saw him on Top of the Pops, and I fell in love with the song because of the lyrics for Between the Wars.
Yeah.
So I went down the local record shop and said, I want this. I couldn't even remember the singer.
Yeah.
I said, but the song's Between the Wars. I said, oh, it's Billy Bragg. It's an EP, three-track EP.
Yeah.
I'll have it. I think it was 99p. So I bought it, and he said he's got an album coming out in about 2 weeks' time. And I'm like, oh, well, order me a copy then.
Yeah.
And that was how I first got
That's
into Billy
how you
Bragg.
used to get your music and all
Yeah.
that. You used to have to order
Yeah,
it. You
yeah.
go to the left-legged pineapple.
Yeah, well, I was the last person to ever paint the outside of the
Really?
left-legged pineapple before it closed.
There you go.
Purple, and I signed it. Right at the top, above the window, I actually signed it as I finished painting.
It's Leaders Estate Agents now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is indeed. Because you had the pineapple on the corner,
Yeah.
and then the antique shop next door
Yeah.
was Dave, was the guy who owned ran the pineapple. His dad owned
Really?
the left-legged pineapple. His dad owned the antique shop next door because he used to run that, and they also owned the shop round the corner as well. He owned all three on that
Fucking
corner.
hell.
The dad did, and it was the dad who had the antique junk shop next door.
It's a shame about the pineapple.
Pineapple's great, but
Yeah.
they're still trading.
Yeah, I know
They're still trading online. Yeah, they're still trading online.
But you see, the youth of today, it's all very well everything being online and downloading it and all that shit, but
I went in there one day.
not the
Pineapple.
same.
Again, going back to Billy Bragg, he released for his fourth album, Don't Try This at Home, third album, fourth album, they released the whole album as 7-inch singles in a box set.
Yeah.
So you got like one track on one, a couple of tracks on it, and they released the whole album as a promo type thing, as a box set. I've got about 6 of them down home. And I went in the Pineapple one day, and he says, oh, I'd always said to him, any rare Billy Bragg stuff, he used to get quite a lot of promos and demos.
Yeah,
I don't know how he used to get them.
Yeah.
So I'd always buy them. And I went in, he said, I got this box set. And he said, but there's some other singles in it. There's 4 other singles in this box set that I don't think should be there.
Yeah.
By a band called Riffraff. My ears pricked up. Billy Bragg's old punk band in the 70s was called Riffraff.
So
They only released one EP, I Want to Be a Cosmonaut, which I already owned, and I paid about 40 quid for it, and 4 singles. These 4 singles were in this box set, in the picture covers, mint. And I've looked at it nearly
come in your pants.
Yeah, literally nearly come in my pants.
And people are out there going, he's nearly come in his pants.
And I looked at them and I'm like, I've never even seen these. I've seen pictures of them, I've never even seen them. Even Billy ain't got them. And I've looked at them and he said, they shouldn't be in there, should they? I said, yeah. The represses, they repressed them to put in this box as a bit of a. And he said, no. I said, how much you got on that? He said, like 15 quid. Yeah, I'll give 15 quid now. And he says, I think I need to look into this, Bren. I don't think you're possibly telling me the truth. And I'm
you
like,
didn't give him your poker face, did you?
I was straight in, give him me. I was ready to just smack him on the head and run out with him.
Yeah.
I thought I'd better not. So, in the end, he phoned me back. Jason. He phoned me back about...
He went, you lying bastard.
He phoned me back about 4 days later and he said, they're not really worth that much, are they? He says, I tell you what, give me 25 quid and you can have a lot. He said, could you buy a lot off me, you know, and this, that and the other. And so I got them, and that's how I got my first ever Riffraff singles. I've since went to... We did a Riffraff reunion gig for Wiggy, who used to play guitar.
Yeah.
Who actually taught Billy Bragg how to play the guitar. He was his next door neighbour. It was Wiggy's 60th birthday, and we did a really nice gig in Camden.
Right.
And there was a guy there who used to be an hang-around right back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's turned up with some cardboard boxes of Riffraff singles. He'd got cardboard.
He'd already got the
somebody. He'd got the last of the stock.
Fucking
somebody said to me, "Have you got the Riffraff singles?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "There's a guy in there selling like 4 for a tenner." I said, "You're joking?" He said, "No, he's knocking them out. He used to hang around with a band back in the day." Like,
yeah, but the thing is, he would have them, but not many others would.
Mint copies, unplayed, 4 for a tenner. By the time I got to him, he'd sold a lot of them, but I bought the last 4 of each that he'd got.
Fucking hell.
All the surviving members of Riffraff were in that room that night, and I know them all. So I just went round and said, "Here, sign these. I've still got them all signed by the whole of the band, mint, unplayed." Yeah. And my old mate Porky, Phil Jupiters, he was there that night, so I got Porky to sign him as well. So, yeah.
Fucking hell. There you go. Right then, folks. That's running out, that camera, and I know there's only about a couple of minutes on this memory card because I've deleted fuck all. There you go, I can see you all now. So there you go, Brad. That's another one done with these air raid shelters.
Yeah.
Beers from the air raid shelter.
And it started off with the proper beer, London Pride.
And we've ended up drinking this French shit.
It's better than nothing.
It is, isn't
Nearly.
it? It's alright though, sitting here, isn't it? Just talking about stuff, and people seem to like it.
I'm going to wait till we're off camera and then I'm going to eat my pork scratchings.
There you go then, dude. So, I don't know how long that's going to be. Alright folks, we'll wind this one up. Thank you again. Please leave your comments because Bren will reply.
I will, yes. Now for reinstating me account.
Yeah, he will do that. And yeah, we'll do one next week, won't we? Because I think you're here next week, ain't you? You've got the windows to paint.
Your sister suggested, because you gave me some Clarkson stout.
Oh yeah.
I've not drank it. Your sister suggested doing a blind taste test with a Murphy's, a Guinness and Clarkson stout.
So what do you want? A Clarkson?
I've got the 2 Clarksons.
Well, I've got more Clarksons.
I'm thinking we've only got to open 1 can with 2 half-pint glasses.
Yeah. Well, we can have a
Guinness, a Murphy's, and we'll put 3 stouts together, but wrap them in paper, so we can't see them.
Yeah.
And what do you think to that?
Yeah.
Your sister suggested it.
All right. She's not very. She's not full of ideas, really, of her own original thinking, but we can have a go, can't we?
Oh, I think that.
So we want a Guinness, a Murphy's, and Clarksons.
And Clarksons.
Right.
And see which is the best.
I've still got some Clarksons up there.
Well, I've still got 2 because I purposely didn't drink them after she suggested.
Well, you drink those. I've still got some up there.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, dude.
Karen wants to try it.
All right. Well, that was the whole idea. I'll get you one for you and one for Karen. All right, folks. Thank you for watching this episode of Beers from the Air Raid Shelter. We will do one next week, and we'll catch you again. All right, mate.
Cheers.
Laters.